Normally you don't chat, you just watch. Fair enough. Maybe, Bob. I don't know, mate. Maybe. It could be down to more objects, but... I don't think it stuttered when we last played this map. That's what I mean. And that had the same number of objects. Right, so now go that way. No, it's the update. You didn't have these stuff before it. Okay, so it's not just me, mate. You've noticed it too. It's kind of typical of... I don't know. They've done this with Satisfactory almost on every release. They fix some stuff and break some other stuff. I wish this was 2 wide and not 1. Right, I'm on my way back.
Okay.
Out with Mr. Squirrel tomorrow, D22. Whee! Have you noticed the audio going echoey at times?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I was just driving back there and I get these weird echoes, and when I was down in the water I kept hearing the audio go really echoey.
Yeah, there's a few bugs they've introduced.
I wouldn't say it was a romantic day, Bob, but yeah. Going out in the afternoon, having some food in the evening. I'm carrying a lot of stuff around. Let's put some in the back. After Orlando, you're spoiling her. Shh, don't tell her. Right. So what are we doing? We got access to trains yet?
Nope. The heavy frames are what's stopping us.
Is it the base or the space thing upgrade?
The base one and the space one. Like, for the trains we need 150. But we can't go and grab them out the space elevator to put in.
Rip. I've got 2. What research we can do? Blimey. Hard disk and a
And
not.
the machine that makes it does 2 a minute.
Yeah, it's not the quickest thing in the world.
We can overclock it, but we can't keep up on the stuff that it needs then.
Let's have a look. Modular frame, heavy modular frame. We might be able to handcraft them quicker though if we get the ingredients.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Handcraft the light frame. I don't think it's the light frames that's the slow thing, is it? Isn't it the heavy frame? See, it makes 3 a minute. Which is not great. You can almost make 3 a second by hand if you get these ingredients. They're pretty slow. It's being throttled by them. You can never have enough screws, Rome. I can give it more screws if it needs more screws. That's awkward. Yeah, I might as well just stick some screws in while I go and get some plates. Figure it out. It's not the belt per se. Once you fix the screws, I'll just get bottlenecked on something else. We're making iron plates.
Ground floor, I believe. At one point, we did know where everything was.
Yeah. Kidding me? The rate they're coming in, I thought there would have been some. Efficiency is not even 80% in, you have chucked shard in there. I've not chucked a shard in there. It can't keep up with a shard. We need plates, man.
Yeah, they're on the ground floor, but we don't really have enough. So whatever we're making is being used straight away.
Figure out what they're doing with these.
I can't really remember what we were doing and what we wasn't doing.
Who the heck was that though? So you've got all these ingots coming in. You've got 6 manufacturers in your factory making heavy frames. Right now, I can't even get a bars. Plates. It's crazy. Right, let's try again. Hi Jamie. It's funny how the hand cannot keep up with the grabbing. I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Hank. Oh, right. I see what you mean now. That's a Mark 2, that's a Mark 3. Snake the Jake. Will you be checking out the new Alaska map in Hunter Call of the Wild at some point? When did that map come out? Because I've not heard of it. My absence in Orlando has left me out of touch with some things. About a week ago. Interesting. What's the reviews on it? This thing doesn't actually have a boost in it, by the way. Because the last map expansion they did didn't get favourable reviews because it wasn't that big. This entire thing here can be replaced now by one of those vertical elevators. Best map so far, looks amazing with dynamic snow. Interesting. And what do you end up hunting? 88% positive, blimey. Looks like they got it right. What do you hunt? Stuff like snow leopards and things? Two per minute, and we need 150. And we've got 40. So that's 120 at 2 per minute, that's an hour. Right now, it'll take an hour to make heavy modular frames.
I'm trying to make some by hand.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Maniac Killer, good evening. Thank you for 29. Moose, fox, bison, wolf packs, caribou, and a few others. So essentially there's quite a lot of use for the light rifle and pistol and that kind of thing. Is there like a white camo snowsuit as well that you can get? I assume there is.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
JTB, thank you for 55. There was one with the Russian map. Oh, that's true. Yeah. I've already got one, actually. I just wondered if they brought another one out. Encased industrial beams. Look at that search box. Thank you, Jamie. such an expensive recipe. It's not. It's actually not. They remove the ability of the craft bench to make anything, so multi-component items have to be done in the machine. Wait, what? I just made that, and that's a multi-component item. And then I made 2 of those, and that's a multi-component item. So, I don't think that's the case. Yeah, computers you can't. But you said you can't make multi-component items, and you can. But advanced stuff, like a computer, you can't. In Factory, you simply can't make multi-component items like that. You need to build an assembler. But it's easy because you can just chuck an assembler down and build it. So it's not difficult. Look how dark it is in here at night. It's just crazy.
This game needs bots.
Happy anniversary.
Shuttles, I'd settle for that. Just flying stuff around.
Yeah, true. At the moment, I'm running around the factory grabbing parts to build frames.
Yep.
I've made 42 so far.
Welcome.
You should be able to have like a production line where the belts come to like the end of the wall, deliver into a massive container chest, which is like in Factory you've got requester chests and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So it delivers it into a box, and then shuttles can dock there, load up, and fly it somewhere else. Because then you can put requester chests where you need them and have stuff delivered.
That would be so nice.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. Okay, I guess it's a hole there. Red Devil, thank you for 18 months. Pistols are actually used now as the wolves can hunt you in big packs. True, actually, yeah. Rip. That's what it should have been. You can still make everything at the crafting bench. What, including a computer, bro? Let's have a look. Computer. Yep, it appears so. Well, that theory went out the window. Did they add any more stuff around the oil refinery? Like at the moment, well, the last time we played it, you couldn't use some of the output ingredients from an oil refinery.
Don't believe they have. We just need 25 more frames.
Yeah, like these, the rubber sheets or something. Yeah, rubber is not being taken for anything.
I know some of it may be being used for motherboards and circuit boards, but I'm not entirely sure.
When you got a sec, come out here.
Yeah. You on the 3rd floor?
Just look at the radar outside. Vrome, I can imagine your factory is like the most overly complex thing I've ever seen.
Frome's factory is overcomplicated.
Can you build on top of that stack?
No, because I've got no iron plates.
Same. Can you see a box up there on the middle conveyor belt?
Yeah.
That's a personal storage box, which is what happens when you drop your stuff. I'm wondering if your gear's in there.
Do you want to know what's in it? 17 iron plates.
Yay!
That's it.
I guess not then. Oh well.
I'm so close to unlocking trains though, I just need 25 more.
Yeah, I've put like 60 in though recently.
Yeah, it's quicker to make them by run around the factory, grab all the parts, and make it by hand than it is waiting for the machine.
Wow, we have a lot of fuel in these tubs out here.
Yeah, there's not just fuel in them ones. If you go back to where the oil is, there's another 2 containers full of fuel. We could, in theory, build a fuel generator and just pump it into that.
Oh, you mean a power source from fuel?
Yeah.
I thought we already had that somewhere.
It might be back at the where it's all being refined. I know we started pumping fuel up here on conveyor belts, and then we was like, "There's no point 'cause it's not being used for anything," so we just cancelled it.
Yeah, we did. A devoted. It should use a fuel power generation. A fuel generation produces 3 times the power of a coal one. I have to go and see what we're actually making in terms of fuel. I'm pretty certain, I'm almost certain that we're using fuel generators.
I think you're right.
And the trouble is they actually take modular frames, so...
Take the ones out of the machine because I'm just about to finish the train ones.
Oh boy. Just want to have a look at the refinery. I need to refresh my memory. Wow.
With the massive bridge over the lake.
Yeah, that was built a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chromebooks are not bad. And what that was from. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, I knew it was. That's running very inefficiently. $150 megawatts. Yeah, we could scale this power up a lot with fuel. It's already built out. It can just be expanded. There's a big overhead built into it.
I'm just about to press the button and unlock trains. Are you ready?
Do it.
Milestone reached. A new set of buildings and vehicles needed for long-range transportation has been made available. In addition to built-in power conduction, rails-based transit ensures increased efficiency and reliability for both the transport of pioneers and cargo.
There you go.
And everything takes heavy frames.
Of course it does. Wait, so where's the parts?
Press Q and it's in vehicles.
Railway. Oh, that doesn't require it. Electric locomotive. 5 computers on board. Must be modern. Train station. 8 computers at a train station. How does that work? Freight platform. Right, so we need to think of a use for it. How about some, we unlocked any... How do you scan again? Is it C? There it is. Raw quartz, sulfur, iron ore. What do we need to bring back the most?
Not entirely sure.
So we don't have aluminium.
Not yet.
Is that new? Is that tier 7 or something?
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Oh, explore is you.
Indeed.
Hey.
Eh.
Tequila, thank you 55. Hello, Paul and the gang. Blessings from Idaho. Thank you, Harold. 30 months, sir. Forgot about Z for the map.
I remember how much fun it was getting to that sulfur.
Right, so we need to build a train, so we need a reason to build it. We need to get a load of stuff and build a train somewhere. Ideally, we'd need aluminium, and then we can actually move aluminium here.
Yeah, that's true.
But we haven't got it unlocked yet. Do we need to get this space elevator upgrade?
It's heavy frames. It's like another 500 heavy frames.
We've already put a load in, haven't we? Or is it just still like another 500?
It's another 500.
That's just insane. The best way to solve that is to just run Satisfactory and go to bed. Wake up and have like 1,000 heavy
Yeah.
frames. Oh my god, I can't get around the base.
Yeah, most of this stuff is like from when we first started the game.
Yep. You would help, but you suck at logistics. No problem. I've noticed when you get out your vehicle now, like your Xena Zapper thing appears in midair and then your body teleports to it. It's weird.
Yep.
Hello, what's all this then?
I forgot this tractor was bringing back coal. We could replace the tractor with a train.
We could, but our demand for coal is not that high. Like this truck station's almost full on coal. But yeah, it would be an example of how, I guess. Have you seen or played a Vauxhall Tycoon Trains Management Sim? Bullets go. I have not. Let's see. we'd want one
Need
electric
another
locomotive.
430 heavy frames.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
Let's focus on a train. I wonder how many freight cars it can pull.
I have no idea.
Maybe it's based on a train station. Locomotives can be set to stop. As freight cars stop this, they will unlock the... As freight cars stop this, they will unload or load their goods, depending on what you set it to. Freight platform snaps to railway each other to train stations. Okay, it doesn't actually tell you what you need to do. Like how many train stations versus platforms do you need?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
You got a train with 6 freight cars.
So do you have to start with a train station, or can you just use a freight platform?
I don't know, because it says the freight platforms snap. The freight platform snaps to railway each other and train stations.
Great English.
But it doesn't tell you what you need to snap to what. Apparently you need a train station at each end. So if we go with 2 of them... and
So
we
a
go
train
2,
station
3,
and a
4.
freight platform to load and unload.
Right, so I need to get 45 heavy modular frames. Where can we get those from?
Running around the factory and picking up all the stuff to build them.
Really?
How many do you need? Give me like the final number and I'll go and sort it.
45.
Right, okay.
Need to get 29 computers, blimey.
There should be enough in the machine upstairs.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look. You need 1 station first and start from there. You can also put a track down first and 2 on that. Okay. Okay, I've got the computers. Any beacons, blimey.
You have to make them at the machine shop next to the hub.
$30 motors.
Happy anniversary, Nutter. Happy anniversary.
Kidding me?
Nutter.
White Wolf, thank you for 36 months, 3 years of support. Happy anniversary, White Wolf. Hawkeye, thank you for 8 months. Today's stream is a great start to my 3-week holiday. I keep hearing about people on these like massive mega holidays. Oh, I'm off for a month. Like, dude, can I come? Sub bomb from White Wolf. Thank you, White Wolf. 5 subs gifted. Thank you so much, White Wolf. If you just got gifted a sub, please remember to thank him.
Welcome back.
What a star. Thank you.
Natter.
I have so much Caterium.
Welcome back, Natter.
Should really grab one of those. You can't even get the time off work yet alone on holiday. Yeah.
Welcome to the Nut House.
Just in case.
Welcome to the Nut House.
You have 170 hours to use up by March. Well, you know, I'll quite happily take your holidays for you. You're only 5 weeks into your 9-week holiday. I remember, you know, when I was at university and stuff, they were probably the longest holidays I ever got when I was at uni. But even then, like, I'm trying to think. Between, you know, at Christmas you'd probably get 6 weeks off. But at the end of my first year, I didn't have a summer holiday. I went working at IBM. And then in my second year, I went working in like an industrial placement in Coventry. And then after my third year, I went working. So yeah, I don't think I've ever had off more than a few weeks at most. I don't know if I get bored or not, to be honest with you. How many heavy modulars have you got?
23 at the moment.
Can I take those off you, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm at the machine that's making them.
Wait, why then are you on holiday? Or is that like what you have to take off? Because I seem to remember why then you was off all of December.
I'm at 42 now.
There you go. That was last year. Yeah, I know. But you're mentioning 5 weeks left. What does that mean? Does that mean you've not taken any holidays off this year? And now you've got 5 weeks left? I never quite understood why you take December off when it's like the wintriest weather, or is that the whole idea?
How many more frames do you need, Paul?
At least 3. Yeah, but why then you could have, like, for example, the whole of June off or the whole of August or something and actually enjoy some nice weather in Norway rather than 6 inches of snow. I just wondered why you did it. Oh my god, this is way bigger than I thought it was. So you have to have a train station at the end. Like that. Right, that's a train station. Don't ask me how just a few ingredients end up with this construction, but there you go.
We need a name. Have you seen what it's called?
It's called Skved to the Sea. Need to configure. No power. Timetable.
Pizza stop. As long as it ain't like Pizza Hut, I'll be fine.
So does that need to be at the end of the thing? It will not work. It needs to be a loop. Are you serious? You can't have a shuttle train? It has to be a loop. What? This platform is going to really mess up this truck when it comes back.
I should be able to stop the tractor when he comes back.
Might be able to move. You can't move a node, can you?
Nope.
So dumb. No, it doesn't have
There's
to be a
some more
loop.
frames, by the way.
Wait, I'm getting conflicted information here. D22 is saying it has to be a loop. Cat's Whiskers is saying it doesn't have to be a loop. You can have a shuttle train, but you need 2 locomotives. Oh, you mean one at each end? That's interesting. I'm going to do that. Hang on, we may need some more ingredients.
Okay, just let me know.
Okay, I need 5 beacons and 4 heavy modular frames.
Right, 17 frames on me. I will
Okay,
go and make
just
some
need 5
beacons.
beacons then. Train station.
But just Factorio is a lot more complicated. The train system's a lot easier.
So if we now build 1, 2 freight terminals like that. So the train goes in there, 2 freight things. No, you don't need 2 locos. A loco can reverse. Right, so it can just like 180 itself, can it? Interesting.
Happy anniversary, Nutter. Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Well, this is pretty freaky. Can you connect this to anything? Like, can you... Is it like a vertical thing you can make? You know, like one of these kind of things. So that you can control the elevation in some way. Like up to there. Obviously not that. Doesn't 180, it moves forwards and backwards on the same track. So it just basically reverses. trying to work out the best way of building the track. Apparently you have to have foundation.
It's a good job we got plenty of concrete then, isn't it?
I was going to say, do you want to go and grab some concrete? Because we're going to need a lot of concrete.
You grab these beacons.
Don't. Holy moly. Two in and two out. That's for one thing. What does the fuel go in for? Oh, it's electric, isn't it? I must admit, when you stand in this thing, it actually looks like a hunking great piece of track and stuff. It actually feels like a train.
Yeah, it does.
Some real stuff is going to come here, you know.
Oh no, the tractor's no stop.
Nine, schnell, no.
Should I just clear the path?
You could just no, you don't need to clear it. Just oh well, you cleared it anyway.
I didn't mean to. I clicked on the wrong one.
Have you got any concrete?
Yep. I love how it stacks it on top of each other.
We need more than that, to be honest.
Look in the chest you just put down.
Hey? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you have to build ramps. Why then? Factory doesn't do 3D.
Anniversary matter.
And then I think what you do, Whiten, is you grab the vehicle train line and do that.
Welcome back. Nutter.
30 months. Welcome back, Gemma Bailey. Baz, 1 sec. Ooh. That's an interesting curve. No support structure. Bass, 4 years, mate. Thank you for 4 years of great content, 4 years of superb weekend entertainment. I remember how the stream looked back when I first stopped. Looking forward to meeting you at Insomniac again. Thank you so much, Baz. Thanks for 4 years. Insomnia hype. Golly. Come on. Come on. Come on. There he is. There he is. Hey. You don't need those ramps. The flat foundation helps get the shape you need. How are you supposed to build an elevation, D22? Use the walls with a large hole for the track support. Does that work? tried poles, it didn't work.
Aye, 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 aye.
Rip headphone users. Madness, thank you for 43. Mickard, thank you for the bits. Apparently you can do with poles. I actually tried to connect it to a pole, it wouldn't let me. Don't worry about that one, Doyle. You'll find it later. Right, say bye-bye. See you Sunday. Bye-bye. He's looking for her. He's searching. Can I have a cup of tea? I didn't really drink that one. Wait, so you guys are saying that you can do it different ways? So, you can't use one of these, can you? I'm pretty certain that didn't work last time. So yeah, it won't click onto that. And then somebody was saying build a wall. One of these? I can't find it. You're not kidding, Whiteland. Wall has to have platform on top.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
I'd love to see a massive train come smashing through that door. Because I bet that'll work. Like the world's smallest train. So yeah, you can do that. That's one option to elevate. In fact, isn't there thinner? There's actually a 1 meter foundation you could use. So you could even use that. You don't need the door. Pretty certain you don't need the door. I like these thinner floor tiles. My only concern is when you want to curve. Let's see where we're trying to go. I think it's fine. Well, and I think you can remove the foundation,
Yeah,
no problem.
it seems a bit.
Let's see where we're going. We're heading over there, aren't we? Oh my god, game, let me get on the rock.
Wonder if I could use my jetpack and jump to that one and build from here.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Wait, is that track?
Yep.
It looks way thicker than track. Is that letting you build it? I mean, like if you don't want it to suck, you can just build a wall. Like underneath it somehow. You know what I mean? Just so it looks like it's
Yeah.
not completely floating in midair.
I feel like they should have added like a conveyor pole, but one for the track.
Because if you build it like with a bridge aspect, it looks a bit more real. There's no ladder in this game, is there, as such?
Nope. Yeah, that's probably the closest thing to a ladder.
Inspection ladder. Wow, this is a bit wonky. Wait, you've not... This isn't center. You're gonna have to do that again, pups. It's gotta be down the middle.
That's the only angle I could get on this one. If you, unless you can, you're the host, you can probably get a better one.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
It seems to snap at some weird angles. Yeah, you can't... It basically restricts the curve.
Yeah.
So if you just like stop it on the edge and then carry on with the second piece, you can correct it again. Yeah, I never mix my YouTube saves with my Twitch saves, ever. Otherwise it just confuses everybody, it's not worth it. No, you won't. You don't need all the foundations. I know you don't need them, I just want them. Like, they just looks a lot better. I know you can just float stuff all day like we have done down there, but I kind of like the idea of having little supports and things like that. Apparently you can also split tracks. That's interesting. I need to join in on the right lane over there. It's the best way of getting that elevation change, I wonder. Hang on, let me step down a bit.
Okay.
Can't see what height you're at relative to this.
It's probably a wall's width difference, so it's slightly higher than this one.
I'm out of concrete. Have you got any?
Oh, some. I'll jump down and give you.
There you go.
No problem.
Right then. Now we've got to figure out how well this thing turns.
I'm betting not that well.
This is a bit of an elevation change. It's weird the way it works.
Yep.
Basically, you don't need to build us intermediate stuff. You just need to like do key points.
Yeah, and the rest flows.
Wish you could rotate that now. I wish you could look at a piece and then like move it. Because it's just not going to line up. This is going to be a weird train.